Welcome, everyone. And good morning or good afternoon. We're hearing from people already from all over the world. So we're so glad that you guys are here. Welcome to our Financial Management Annual Priorities and Challenges webinar. We're so glad that you're here with us. So thank you. Just a couple of items before we get started. I wanted to let you know that audio is available through your computer or through your dial-in, and we do have all lines muted. At any time during the presentation, feel free to submit questions and comments. Hopefully we'll have some time to address the questions in the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Finally, a link to the recording will be sent to all registrants via email within just a few days. By way of introduction, my name is Kelley Pruetz, and I am the Principal Research Lead for the Financial Management Research here at APQC. I'm a relatively new face at APQC, having joined just under a year ago. My degree is in finance, and I have over 30 years of experience in the corporate financial world. Through my experience, I've navigated a variety of business cycles and market cycles. There have been a lot of fun times and a lot of difficult ones to work through. But I'm happy to be here and I'm able to share my experiences and knowledge with our audience today. So thank you for joining us. Here's the agenda we plan to cover. First, I want to give you a little bit of background, a context setting for all the survey research that we did. We want to talk through what the respondents said were their top priorities for the finance function for 2024 and what they believed to be some of the key challenges and risk. Lastly, I'd like to give you just a brief insight into our current 2024 financial management research agenda. And in the end, hopefully we'll have some time for some questions. So the demographics and overview. To unpack the trends and challenges shaping the work of corporate finance and accounting professionals in 2024, we conducted our annual Financial Management Priorities and Challenges survey in late 2023. We surveyed over 300 finance professionals representing 21 different industries. As far as the region goes, this was a global survey with responses coming in from around the world. In terms of the role level, we deliberately sought out respondents with decision-making power and/or kind of a broad knowledge across the finance function. Again, we received responses from 21 different industries, and we've listed the top 5 here. We analyzed that data in a pretty evenly dispersed annual revenue size. So what did we find to be the top priorities and challenges? We asked respondents, what are your top areas of focus within the finance function for 2024? And what we meant by that was, what areas do you plan to invest in? Areas of improvement, areas for automation, and so on. And as you can see, finance function process improvement came out as the #1 priority for 2024, with cash flow management just behind. Then we rounded out with finance data management and finance risk management as areas of focus. If we look year over year and compare where these threes lined up as far as what the priorities were, you can see finance function process improvement has been a top priority. So really the dedication to enhancing the efficiency, effectiveness, and accuracy of financial processes within the organization remains key. This can involve automation tasks, streamlining workflows, optimizing reporting mechanisms, different things just to help speed up the process. Ultimately, the goal is to drive a greater productivity, reduce costs, minimize errors while improving overall performance within the finance function. So we got a bit specific into each of those priorities. First, we have finance function process improvement. We wanted to know, when it comes to process improvement, to what degree is your organization implementing these tools or processes? The most widely implemented is an ERP system. We've seen a steady increase year over year in the companies that we survey who have fully implemented an ERP system, up to 43% this year from 38% last year. We've also found that many organizations are upgrading their current ERP systems to incorporate cloud-based solutions and AI capabilities. We do believe these major technology trends will continue to shape the future of ERP systems. I also wanted to point out that through conversations with our members, we're hearing a lot about process optimization and finance transformation with newly formed roles within the finance function to tackle some back office end-to-end processes. We've spent some time here these last few months putting some really good reference content around end-to-end processes together. So please check those out. Since AI is such a hot topic with a lot of interest and movement in the past couple of years, we thought this would be a good time for a quick poll. We do have some results of the implementation of AI from our study, but before I share those, I'd like to hear from our audience on where you feel your company is on the implementation of AI. Okay, so what we're seeing here is kind of indicative. There's no fully implemented, and that's kind of what we're seeing as well. On the survey that we did, piloting and considering are high numbers. So that you're very much in line with what we found out in our poll. While the number of respondents reporting that they've reached fully implemented stage has not changed much over the years, those that are at least considering the use of AI in the function has grown. So we have another poll. Not only have we surveyed our members and customers, but we've also been speaking with them. And we found AI capabilities evolve and become more accessible. Companies are increasingly recognizing the value of incorporating AI into their finance function. It's our expectation that the number of companies moving to fully implementation of AI in the finance function will grow in coming years. So if you don't mind helping us out with this quick poll, I would appreciate it. This is really good information for us to have as we look forward with our agenda. So I appreciate you guys participating. Okay. So there, we're seeing next year, 3 years, and 5 years. So that's really interesting to me, and I appreciate you guys doing that for us. All right. So as we look at how companies are utilizing areas of AI, we asked our respondents, those who are at least considering using AI, what finance functions do you expect to be able to take advantage of AI capabilities? And what we heard was that financial report generation and financial forecasting are the top processes. So utilizing AI-powered tools and leveraging the diverse range of available platforms for AI functionality across financial management will optimize processes, resulting in time savings, mitigating risk of errors in an increasingly complex data-driven environment. Some examples of tools would be an ERP system with AI capabilities or robotic process automation, so RPA, which has actually been around for quite some time. When doing secondary research on platforms, we don't find that any one platform dominates the financial management space. Some examples of platforms would be IBM Watson, Google Cloud, Amazon Web Services, or Oracle AI. Again, we're seeing a lot of movement in this space, and it'll be a fun area to continue to research and follow as we move through the transition of implementing AI into the finance function. If this is an area that you've had some success and you would like to share those successes with us, we would love to hear from you. So then we move on to cash flow management. We asked, from this list of challenges, tell us which of these your organization is currently experiencing with cash flow management. We heard that budget forecasts not being accurate is the #1 challenge for respondents. Uncertain external factors like economic conditions, market fluctuations, and geopolitical events can significantly impact forecasts, making them less accurate. So I believe this is just an indication of what we saw in 2023. While the cost of goods sold increasing due to inflation has been a concern in years past, we're seeing a rise in the number of respondents who are reporting customer invoices not being paid on time as a top challenge for them when speaking of managing their cash flow. Causes for this added concern could be, again, the economic factors. It could be supply chain disruptions, which we've heard a lot about, or it could just be caused by a change in the payment culture. What are companies doing to manage cash flow? So in years past, we saw investment in technology as the top response. But this year, we're hearing that companies are addressing their cash flow by decreasing their spending and expenses, cutting labor costs, and providing incentives to customers for early invoice payments as a means to increase their cash flow. All of the top 3 responses that we heard will provide short-term relief for managing cash flow. So not the same as what you would get from like investing in technology. That would be more of a long-term advantage. So finance data management. When we talk about finance data management, we're referring to the process of collecting, organizing, storing, analyzing, and ultimately utilizing financial data within an organization. The primary objective is to ensure data is accurate and accessible to support informed decision-making and financial performance analysis. Leveraging finance analytics. So most of our respondents, at 87%, report that their organization are leveraging finance analytics to manage financial data. Respondents report that they leverage the analytics primarily to create accurate financial forecasts, provide an accurate view of key performance indicators, and then lastly, detect possible fraud. The majority of our respondents do report that they mostly use Excel to create charts and graphs when talking about finance data visualization. Overall, Excel's data visualization features provide users with powerful tools to create visually compelling charts, graphs, and tables that facilitate data analysis and communication of insights. For more complex requirements, there are dedicated data visualization platforms that can be utilized, like Power BI. Then you can see that the most advanced stage, we have 20% of respondents reporting that they're using all the tools, as well as adding a graphic designer's touch to those reports. Using finance data visualization, most of our respondents do report that the data is being updated automatically in real time. So this number makes sense with the number of respondents that we heard were using an ERP system. And just 9% report that they're manually updating data. Overall, what we've learned by looking across all industries, across all geographic regions, that the use of data visualization enhances storytelling by transforming complex data into compelling narratives that inform, inspire, and resonate with broad audiences. allowing the storyteller to communicate insights clearly and effectively. If you're representing to the finance committee, you may be able to use a more basic data-intensive format and have complete understanding. But if you're presenting to a group of shareholders or an employee base, the need to present in a more storytelling way becomes more important. We often hear from our CFO here at APQC, Perry Wiggins, that when presenting financial data, always consider your audience. So I had a conversation with our writers when they were helping me put a white paper together for this survey, and there was a little bit of confusion with data analytics and data visualization. And to put that in personal terms, I mean, we use that at home, right? We take our mortgage, our car note, the amount we expect to spend on food and other things, and we put that in a spreadsheet along with whatever our income is, and we get to a net number, and then we can analyze that at the end of every month. So being able to look at it in that regard, and then being able to share those. You know, I'm married to an engineer who also has a very analytical mind, but has a tendency to dive pretty deep. So sometimes I have to be mindful on how I present the data to him. It's much easier for me to present it on an annual basis as opposed to month by month. So knowing your audience is key. Finance risk management. Given the ever-present threat of cyber attacks, geopolitical insecurity, and market instability, it makes sense that respondents cite risk management as a priority for 2024. Here we ask respondents, where are you in the process of implementing a risk management program? What we heard was 2/3 of the survey respondents report that they are piloting, rolling out, or have fully implemented risk management programs in their organization, which is consistent to what we heard last year. So secondly, we reached out and said, hey, for 2024, what types of risk are you including within that program? And we see that most respondents are including all 5 areas of risk within their program. This year, we see a 20% increase in those respondents with liquidity risk in their program. We know that liquidity risk can become more pronounced during periods of heightened uncertainty, and market stress. So it makes sense that more organizations are implementing rules and processes to help them manage liquidity risk. So what were our key findings this year? More and more organizations are seeing the benefits of implementing an ERP system, the value of creating end-to-end process documentation, transforming finance end-to-end, the cost of delay. Invoices not being paid on time is now a top cash flow challenge. More than 85% of respondent organizations are leveraging finance analytics to keep their finger on the pulse of business, develop more accurate forecasting, and detect fraud. Organizations across all industries and regions see the benefit of leveraging advanced data visualization practices to improve data-driven storytelling of financial reports. Market risk, operational risk, and cyber risk are the 3 top categories of finance risk that respondents plan to focus on in 2024. So 2024 financial management research. Each year we spend time collecting data and updating our financial benchmarks, which are an important part of the finance function. We also do this priority surveys that we're reporting out to you now to see what our members and customers' focus areas are. And then we typically do a deep dive into a specific research topic. In 2023, we focus in on finance business partnering and finance talent. So make sure you go into our website and check those out. This year, we'll be focusing on accounts payable, accounts receivable, and internal controls. Survey and working with our members and customers to analyze what's new and exciting in those areas. We've also identified delegation of authority as a topic we could gain some insight on and feel it would be an interesting topic for our members. So tentatively, we have that coming in late 2024. So questions? Does anybody have any questions or anything to offer in regards to what 2024 looks like to them? We'd love to hear from you. Well, I'm not seeing any right now, but if something comes to you, or if you've received this in your email and you want to ask some more deeper questions, please feel free to reach out to us. Reminders. As a reminder, you'll receive a copy of the slides and the recording of this webinar in just a couple of days. We appreciate you joining us today. Again, any questions that come up or anything that you'd like to chat with us about, we would love to hear from you. And I'm going to leave you with our contact information here. Again, if you've got something, a broader APQC idea that you'd like to share, we'd be happy to hear from you. Looks like we have a question now. Portfolio management, part of finance management or performance measurement? From Marcel Williams, who I've been lucky enough to have a great conversation with. Marcel, I would have to do a deeper dive and see exactly, I think that could go either way. I think there's obviously some portfolio management that happens as part of finance management. So I'd love to be able to do a little bit more research on that and get back to you. And then we had a question, what about the role of finance in taking a lead in overall financial and operational improvement? Well, I think we are seeing finance taking a larger role. I think with the end-to-end processes, I think that's heavily falling to some of the finance areas, especially globally. And so I think there's always room for improvement. There's always going to be some collaboration that goes on, but I do see the role of finance taking a lead in overall financial and operational improvement. We're seeing a lot of new roles being formed on those types of finance reorganization. We're seeing things like that when we're talking to our members. And so those aren't roles that I'm familiar with. I do think there are things that people are looking at to try to improve overall, in a lot of them, in many times, global processes, and narrowing in on that. So we love your questions, and we'd love to hear more from you. Yes, that we're getting some messages about AI cases in finance, and that's basically what I was asking for. I would love to see some of those as well. We have reached out to a couple of our members that we know have made some headway, and working with them to try to share some of their success stories, some of what they learned. And we would love to hear from any of you that have gone down that road. That's certainly where we need to focus, and that was kind of the goal of my quick polls, to find out how quickly we need to be on that. I do think it's something that's imperative that we get ahead of, and we are currently in the process of looking for folks that we can talk with that have gone through the process of that implementation, so that we can gain more insight and share with you. And I don't know the answer to hindering organizations from adopting AI and Gen AI. I don't have the data for that right now. That is something that we are looking into. We are trying to do that research and finding the right folks to be able to provide us with that data. And we'll be happy to share that with you. And it is something, just know that is something that we're continually looking for, and reaching out to our members, and looking for folks who can share those stories with us so that we can pass those stories along. Okay, well, I think that wraps us up. Again, I would love to hear from you guys if you have had some of those success stories, not only on AI, but maybe end-to-end, implementing the end-to-end processes. Really, anything that you would like to share with us, please reach out to us. Let us know, and we would love to partner with you on those. So thanks again for coming. Thanks for being a part of this. And everyone have a great day. We look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you.